Spartans, prepare your breakfast and eat well, for tonight we dine in Hades. This is the line that defines a legend, the phrase that turns a man into an immortal myth. 300 men, a narrow mountain pass, and, by ancient accounts, over 1 million Persian soldiers. It's the greatest story of military sacrifice ever told. We know the man behind the helmet, not just as a warrior or king, but as a monster, because Leonidas was not born a hero. He was designed, forged, systematically broken and rebuilt by the most brutal, ruthless, and efficient training machine the ancient world ever conceived. This isn't just the story of Thermopylae. That's the ending. This is the origin story. How do you create a human weapon? What do you have to sacrifice? What part of your very humanity must you kill to become the living legend of Sparta? To understand Leonidas, you have to understand the place that birthed him. Sparta, not like Athens with philosophers, artists, and theater. Sparta was a barren, primitive rock ruled by fear, not of Persians, not of Athenians, but of itself. True Spartans, the equals, were a tiny elite ruling a massive population of state-owned slaves, the Helots, outnumbered 10, sometimes 20 to 1. Their entire society was not designed to conquer the world, but to control their own backyard, to keep the boot on the neck of hundreds of thousands who hated them and would slaughter them in their sleep given half a chance. Their solution: terror. The Cryptia, a secret police made of young Spartans, hunting the strongest or most rebellious Helots at night. More than population control, it was training, teaching boys to kill in the darkness. This was the world Leonidas was born into, around 540 BCE, a world of paranoia, violence, and iron discipline. Here is where his story takes its first turn. He was of royal blood, one of the dual kingships, a system meant to avoid one man seizing power. But in Sparta, royalty meant no luxury, no exemption. Most princes were educated separately, groomed for rule. Not Leonidas, not the firstborn. He had 2 elder brothers and was not destined for the throne. That's what made him a monster. At age 7, Leonidas was ripped from his family, just like every Spartan boy, and thrown into the Agoge. The Agoge was not a school. It was a factory of dehumanization, a 13-year program to burn out individuality and forge the collective, replace fear, compassion, pain with one thing: obedience. Think Navy SEAL training. Now imagine it lasts over a decade and starts at age 7. They received 1 tunic per year, never shoes, sleeping on reeds torn from the river barehanded, kept on the edge of starvation to promote theft. But here's the twist: not punished for stealing, but savagely punished for being caught. The crime wasn't theft, it was incompetence. Be clever, be invisible, be ruthless, succeed, or suffer unimaginable pain. Older boys ruled the young, creating a hierarchy of institutional abuse. Beatings weren't punishment, they were curriculum. The aim: make pain irrelevant. In this nightmare, Leonidas, a royal child, was treated worse than a dog. Most broke became soulless drones. Leonidas thrived. Where others saw cruelty, he saw competition. Where others felt pain, he pushed his limits. He learned not just to endure, but to dominate the system. Above all, the Agoge taught laconism, an economy of words. Never show emotion, never complain. A real Spartan only speaks when necessary, and his words strike like a spear. Leonidas became the perfect embodiment: cold, disciplined, lethal. Meanwhile, his family was coming apart. His older brothers made catastrophic mistakes. The Agoge was just the first filter. The true test came afterward, a trial of power, madness, and blood. The boy thrown to the wolves was about to find out he was the alpha. Leonidas struggled for dry bread in the barracks as a royal succession war brewed in the palace. His father, Anaxandridas, had 3 sons, Cleomenes, the heir, exempted from the Agoge and raised as a prince, Dorius, who completed the Agoge, strong, arrogant, and full of resentment toward his entitled brother, and Leonidas, the shadow, the spare. Around 520 BCE, the king dies. Cleomenes is crowned. Dorius, unable to accept it, leads a failed colonial expedition and dies in Sicily. Cleomenes' reign reveals instability, a military genius one day, and an erratic lunatic the next. Eventually, he's declared insane, arrested, and found dead. A suicide or political execution. History isn't clear. Leonidas, the 3rd son, survives. Not a prince by inheritance, but a monster shaped by ordeal. He inherits the crown at the worst possible moment. A Persian god-king, Xerxes, is building an army the likes of which the world has never seen. Unlike his unstable brother, Leonidas rules with iron discipline and is partnered with his brilliant wife, Gorgo. She famously decodes a secret warning of the Persian invasion. Xerxes prepares the largest invasion ever. Ancient sources claim millions. Modern historians say hundreds of thousands. The exact number doesn't matter. It was a tide, drinking rivers dry, building a mile-long bridge of ships. Xerxes demands total surrender from Greece, earth, and water. Most cities crumble in fear. In Sparta, the response is brutal. The Persian envoys are thrown into a well and told, "If you want earth and water, take it from there." No negotiations. They'd signed their own death warrant. Greece panics, desperate for Spartan help. The plan is defense by land and sea. Athens' new fleet can block the Persian ships, but on land, only the Spartans can hold the chosen battleground, Thermopylae, the hot gates. A narrow pass where numbers mean nothing, but discipline means everything. But Spartan law forbids war during the Carneia festival. Leonidas finds the loophole. He can lead his 300 royal bodyguards, each with living sons, on a recon mission. He knows this isn't a battle, it's a suicide ritual. The 300 march north, stopping at Delphi for the oracle's prophecy. Sparta will be saved only by the death of a king. For Leonidas, that's not a death sentence, it's destiny. Only 7,000 Greeks join him, far less than needed. They rebuild the Phocian wall and wait. Scouts return, pale with terror, a human tide that darkens the sun. Xerxes offers surrender. Leonidas returns with 2 eternal words. Molin Lob, come and take them. The Persians attack with waves of terrified conscripts, slaughtered by the Spartan phalanx. Then come the immortals, Xerxes' elite. They too are butchered, discipline defeating chaos. Finally, betrayal. A local reveals a secret mountain path. Persians envelop the Greeks. Leonidas orders the allies to retreat, saving their cities. Only the 300 Spartans, 700 Thespians, and some dubious Thebans remain, choosing the final stand. Leonidas leads not defense but the last charge, seeking Persian generals and Xerxes himself. Over his fallen body, Spartans form a shield wall, fighting with swords, hands, teeth. Xerxes, humiliated, crucifies Leonidas' body, decapitates him, and mounts his head. A final act of rage. But the legend is unstoppable. Messengers tell the tale of a king who embraced death to buy his nation time. Time to rally. Time time to turn terror into vengeance at Salamis, inspired Greek forces defeat the Persian navy. At Plataea, Spartans avenged their king, ending the invasion forever. Leonidas wasn't a philosopher or a great builder. He was something else, the perfect product of an imperfect, brutal system. A monster with a singular purpose, to be the shield stripped of fiat, compassion, and individuality. In Greece's darkest hour, these were the virtues they needed. Xerxes thought he could destroy Leonidas' body, but made him immortal. Spartans had a saying, "Return with your shield or on it." Leonidas returned not with it, nor on it, but his legend became a shield for all Western civilization, stronger than bronze. Xerxes had 1,000,000 men. Leonidas had a story. If you want real history, without the Hollywood myths, subscribe and comment. Who do you think was the most controversial ruler in ancient times?